When you think about the art in ancient Greek society, we have to think that this type of art, this type of consideration about art, it was in relation on the one hand with different type of gods and goddesses. Therefore, different type of gods and goddesses that had a specific type of ideas, and in particular that have a specific type of characters, of elements that define this type of gods and goddesses. On the other hand, there is technically the idea that each city-state had a specific type of opinion in front of this type of god or goddesses, and therefore the idea of sculpture, for example, the idea of architecture, it was in relation with this type of life. Therefore, the idea of the temples for the statues that were put into the temples. And at the same time, there is, for example, the idea that the temples were important to conserve the statues, and different type of statues were important in relation with the fact that this type of statues, in relation with the ancient Greek opinion, were important to pray, and at the same time to explain the idea of ancient Greek city-state. In fact, the idea of a city-state, it was the main element that we have to consider if we would like to understand how the Greeks considered this type of life, their life. In fact, the city-state, it was in relation with the idea of independence. And this type of independence, it was important because if we have to consider the idea of independence into the city-state, we have to compare this type of independence with the idea of the common good that, according to the ancient Greek city-states, was considered by the idea of the population of the city-state, and at the same time with the idea of god and goddesses. Therefore, for example, the idea of different type of actions in front of gods, in front of the goddesses, the idea of the religion, the theogony, and the idea of art, that it was different. In particular, we know that the main type of art in ancient Greek society, it was considered during the 5th century BC, but in particular the main art in ancient Greek society, the period most important where the Greeks were so in relation with their religion and the art, it was in this sense in relation with this type of religion, was, for example, that period that was went through the 10th century BC and the 6th century, 5th century BC. At the same time, the 4th century BC there was the crisis of religion, because Alexander the Great, in fact, Alexander the Great politically arrived and imposed his power technically with his hegemony. And the Macedonians were important in this sense because after the three important hegemonies of the ancient Greek society, the Athenian hegemony, the Spartans hegemony, and the Theban hegemony, the Macedonian arrived to conquer the idea of hegemony and to impose the power on the Greeks. This is interesting because this had an effect also on the art and on the religion. In fact, in this sense, the religion in ancient Greek society changed, and the Greeks in general, they continue to consider important the different type of gods and goddesses. They continue to believe in the gods and goddesses, but less than before. At the same time, there is the other type of topic, Alexander the Great, a stranger that imposes power on the Greek city-state, and the idea of Greek city-state didn't follow that type of hegemony that followed before. And this is another type of topic really important that explains something that it wasn't before. And also the art, therefore, the sculptures, the art in general, didn't consider so much the gods and goddesses as before. And this is another type of topic that explains how the philosophy changed. For example, the idea that there were some other philosophers, for example, the Stoicism and the Epicureanism. Therefore, the idea of art and the idea of philosophy is arrived to be considered differently with the 4th century BC, in particular because we have the art that consider less the gods and goddesses of Olympus before them. Before them, but at the same time also the other type of topic, the religion in relation with the idea of the city-state, therefore the political point of view with the city-state, that it wasn't so the center. It wasn't no more the center as before. And Alexander the Great therefore created an empire and changed the idea of organic society technically, because he maintained the idea of organic society in relation with gods and goddesses. In fact, he considered himself son of Zeus, son of the god of the sky, and the god of Olympus. But at the same time, Alexander the Great created an empire that it was founded technically on the new type of structure, on the new type of hegemony. And this type of structure, this type of new empire, was arrived in India, and he went. He was so big. We know that the empire of Alexander the Great, it was an empire that was in these lands through the Turkey, through the actual Turkey, or in the ancient Asia Minor, arriving in the land of India. And this is another type of topic really important. And the Greek city-state lost the hegemony, lost the importance. And at the same time, the gods and goddesses of Olympus were exported outside the city-states with different type of situations. For example, the Hellenistic society with different type of kingdoms and different type of kings that had to decide how to administrate and cultivate relationship with different type of cultures. For example, the kingdom of Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great, or the kingdom of Syria after the death of Alexander the Great. In fact, after the death of Alexander the Great, his empire was divided into different type of parts, as the kingdom of Egypt, the kingdom of Syria, the kingdom of Macedon, the kingdom of Pergam, and the different type of polis, city-states that lost their hegemony. And in this sense, these kingdoms had importance in relation with their division, but in relation with the Hellenization, the idea of ancient Greek society, that it was exported, not because the Greeks that decided to do this, but because Alexander the Great, a stranger that took the ancient Greek culture, exported this culture outside the Greek borders. The Greek city-states develop a new type of empire, an empire that Greek didn't consider when they founded their city-state. But that now exists. Bye.